Hey, y'all, it's Letitia with Lighten Up with Letitia, and we're here for an impromptu live. I just went live because it's the end of the year and we're talking Beyond the Gates. Y'all know I have been doing the shorts, I've been staying consistent, and I know I'm a little bit behind, but I'm still catching up. So, this is for my Beyond the Gates fans out here. Again, this is just a little impromptu live. I just decided to go live this evening. I just really felt like talking. But beyond that, I had been collecting these crazy reads from the show from the very beginning. And I thought this would be a great time to go ahead and blurt them all out as we are approaching the 200th episode. And as we are closing out season one, we have had a very exciting and fun filled season for Beyond the Gates. It's brand new, it's the new kid on the block, just like me. And we are really enjoying ourselves over in Fairmont Crest. So, for anybody else who's out there, first of all, welcome to my live. I'm just trying to stay in practice in terms of getting my live doing live shows. So go ahead and say something out there so that we can hey, welcome. Welcome, yay, catching a live. I'm so glad you did. Welcome. Hey, Angelica, we're talking Beyond the Gates. I thought this would just be a really fun time to do this. It's the end of the year. We're doing a wrap up. It's not a countdown of anything, but like I said, I have been collecting because they got me that chuckling in Fairmount Crest. So they have the craziest reads. And so as I take my notes for the recap shows, I have been keeping another note of all of these crazy reads. So I thought it would be fun again to share those with you. And not only that, please do share me your favorite reads from the characters in the comments. Yes. I'm new to the YouTube. Yes. Okay. I'll have to make sure. I think I'm subscribed, but I'm gonna make sure that I am so that we can grow together. Okay. We all about that growth and that community. I was on YouTube about a year before I started coming around here. And I did a couple of recaps for what was it? The final chapters of The Best Man. And I lost my momentum. I wasn't really getting very much feedback, but this time around I have a community that shout out to EJ the TV Junkie and everybody who came with her. VKJ TV, Ticket to Shine, Monique 69 Ways, Candy Loves, Tamika's Den, all of my peeps. I appreciate y'all and everybody else in the comments. I see y'all, Angelica and Alice, see for me. We see you all the time. Thank you so much for being here. But let's go ahead and jump right on in. Again, this is about some crazy reads that we have heard in Fairmont Crest on Beyond the Gate. So I'm gonna pull up, and of course, yes, they are. They absolutely are. Very, very much so. And yes, Happy New Year to you as well. Yes. Okay, so the first read, of course, has to come from the Shade Assassin herself. Let me pull it up. Oh, it's up here already. Okay, my bad. Okay. Uh Catherine Cat Richardson. So her I was cracking up the first time I heard this. When Cat called Eva the home wrecker helper, I was outdone with that. Like, first of all, Kat has a lot of reads. I think she's on this list a couple of times, but this is probably one of my absolute favorite reads from them because from the characters because they're just so funny. She is one of the shadiest in terms of like with the tongue. She's the one of the sharpest ones with the tongue. So I always appreciate Kat. Yeah, she called Eva the home wrecker helper, talking about Eva and her mama. Okay. So then the next one is okay, where is my thingy? Here we go. All right, Randy. When Randy called Detective Malone Timu Shaft, couldn't do nothing but laugh because why is that exactly what he looks like is a Timu Shaft? That is so rude, but it's so funny and so true. Okay, moving on. The next person, again, who she's also one of the shadiest, in my opinion, very quick with the tongue, very quick witted, and she don't care who she's talking to, child. Of course, our very own Delulu Danielle Danny Dupree, when she said about Ashley that Ashley was so basic that she made vanilla seem spicy. I was just outdone. Hilarious and rude, but very true because I'm gonna say Ashley's come a long way. She went from being one of the most boring characters, in my opinion, to now. I mean, she was a front runner for the drama for a while with her and Derek, and so I feel like her character has grown some. She's grown on me a little bit, but I don't know why they could not get it together. She just don't love Derek like that, but I wish she did because to me they seem like a better fit than her pining after Andre. But, moving on. Any comments? Do y'all have any reads or anything that you thought that was like super funny in the show that is worth, let's talk about it. I'm always going to talk about it cuz again, I kept a whole note book for this. Okay, so the next one is okay, wait a minute. Yes, Kat got the best lines when it comes to Eva. I mean, I agree. I mean, I don't always like them though, because I feel like she comes super hard on Eva, and some of it is so unnecessary. She is giving obsessed vibes. Um, as much as I like Cat, but I am not Team Cat. I am not one of those Team Catters, but I'm also not Team Eva either. I am very much neutral on on the scene, but I mean, I have to give it to her. She does cut her up, but I feel like sometimes she cut her down, and she don't have to do all of that. Okay, Ashley doesn't love Andre neither. Ashley is confused. I mean, I do think that Ashley is confused. I mean, I can agree that maybe she doesn't love Andre, but I think what she likes about Andre is the dreaminess, the fact that he made Paris happen for her. I think that's what she's living in, a delusional land where it's kind of like, oh my gosh, I could really have this. And not saying that she couldn't. I feel like she just moved too slow. He sounded like he was willing to, explore something with her, but she wanted to be with Derek, or so she said. I think I agree with you that she's definitely confused. Child, I'm like, Ashley, just get it together, girl. Get it together. Okay, so then the next one is the senator. Okay, there's Ashley. The senator himself, anytime I feel like he gets his knickers in a bunch, it's hilarious because he'll say things like, "What in the blue blazes?" That's hilarious to me. Then there was a time where when he was mad at Ted, of course, everybody's still mad at Ted, but he was saying how he wanted to give Ted Richardson a good old fashioned butt whooping. It's like, whoa, funny. And then when he called both Bill and Ted jackasses, I said, not the senator out here cursing. And then, of course, to me, his main one that I thought was really, really good was when he told Dana, Leslie, Anna, Sherry, Lulu, when she had all those personas, all those names, he told her to choose silence because she was talking way too much. And they was done dealing with her. He said, choose silence. I said, all right then, Senator. Definitely. Okay. So then let's see here. Okay. A lot of these are early on. When Martin said to Leslie that she was a spiraling psycho at a country club soiree, I was like, you better read Martin. You better read Congressman, because that's exactly what Leslie is. Now, that he doesn't always get out of pocket, but I love that when he did, that's what he said to her. Now, speaking of Leslie, well, the offspring, actually. Another read, okay, if he don't read, his sister definitely can as well. So we're gonna go back to Kat, because Kat told Eva, you are a sinister creation of a woman, blinded by rage, programmed to lash out to hurt people before they hurt you. Not only was that a read, it was a mouthful. And child, if it didn't do nothing, I'm sure it hurt the feelings. Every single feeling a person had. Eva, that's the one that left Eva crying. Because right after that, she said she was, DEAD to her. And Kat walked out and Eva started crying. Child, that was right after the big reveal at the anniversary party of Ted and Nicole. Child, it was a hot mess. Ooh, wee. Now, the way they red tailed around that table, I agree. I totally forgot. I did not write that one down, but that was a good one. And that scene was crazy. They clowned Ted for real bad. And his feelings were so hurt. He got up from the table like he was a toddler, and he rolled out. He was really mad about that. But it's like, you lucky that they still even jonesing with you. You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, what you've done is just, out of pocket. You lucky that they still like treating you like family. That's what family does. They joke on you like that. So I agree with you. That one was so good. That was a really good one. I didn't get not one of those reads in my notes either, but I didn't write them down. But I do remember that scene, and it was a good one. Now the next one, child, listen. So Mona came out of the park, knocking them out of the park as well. Now we don't see her that much on screen, but when we do, she always has a one-liner or two that will totally get people together. So the first one was when she told Leslie that hell was made for people like her. Enjoy the burn. Okay. She said she was not going to be Leslie's friend anymore. And to this day, it's still up and it's stuck. She is still not friends with Leslie. She don't care what Jan talking about. She is not cool with Leslie. Is not going to be cool with Leslie. But also, she didn't give Eva any slack either. Because here go Eva feeling sorry for herself. She was like, I lost everything. And Mona looked at her and said, good. Like, you deserve to lose everything, because what you and your mother did was beyond unforgivable. Like, girl, no. Now, I know since then, Eva, and I know this is a controversial topic because some people don't feel that she is trying, but I feel like Eva is trying to, put herself in a better position where she's kind of getting integrated into the family, and she's not trying to I don't think she's trying to be evil. She's not trying to infiltrate. She has the right to have a relationship with her father and everything. She just wants to be part of the family. She just wants to belong. And most people do want to belong. She can't help who her mother is. And for people to say things like, well, why she continues to enable her mother, and her mother is, she shouldn't be on her mother's side. I don't think she's so much on her mother's side. It's just that, well, one, let's think about the fact that the way she was brought up and how Leslie brought her up and the things that she put in her head. Lightweight, she's a smoosed. You know what I'm saying? That's part of her childhood trauma, first of all. And then the other thing is that most people, they stick up for their parents, their mothers especially. I think it's unreasonable for people to think that Eva should just walk away from Leslie, as if that would be helpful to either of them, to be honest. And who else would she turn to? I mean, Ted's a pariah in the society right now too. So, she's doing the best that she can, I think. Anyway, that was Mona's. Then we're gonna go back to oh no, not back. The next one is back. But our next girl is yeah, Nicole. Now, I don't feel like Nicole does a lot of reading, but when she told Kat that your obsession with true crime podcasts was is making you fancy yourself an amateur detective, I was like, dang, that was kind of harsh. Especially you talking to your daughter, not only is she really interested in, the podcast and everything, it's her interest. I, I just felt like that wasn't a way to cut your own child down just because she was trying to help. Now, I do feel like Kat was going a little bit overboard when she was trying to help Jacob with the case for Leslie regarding Laura, but but still, you want to encourage your children. You don't want to tear them down. Although I do feel like, Kat had the makings of a pretty decent detective though. So maybe it would behoove her to really like take the route of I don't know. I don't know how you go. I don't know if she would have to go through the police academy to become a detective, but she can certainly do something like with the private eye, arena because yeah, she is a good snoop. That's for sure. So now we're gonna go back to Danny with the infamous talking about Haley's womb as the invisifetus. Child, very clever, very funny. This is not for people who are going to be sensitive about that particular subject matter, So I hope this is not trigger warning for anything for anybody. But it was funny. And in the moment, it was well deserved to be said about Haley. And it was true. It was true. She had nothing on the inside. She's playing Bill. And speaking of that storyline, I really wish I cannot wait to see how it unfolds. What do y'all think about the Bill and Haley thing? Do you think that Bill already knows that she's trying to set him up in some way? Do you think it's a coincidence that this girl, this woman, Lynette, came back into town and just so happened to pick Bill's firm to represent her? What do you think about the Bill and Haley of it all? I'm thinking that Bill, I feel like you have to get up pretty early to put something over on Bill Hamilton. And also I feel like you can't scam a scammer. And he has scamming ways as well. So I think he's smarter than Haley and Randy thinks that he is. And I think he gonna get them in the end. And I think that Carolyn might be in on it because she's been with him many, many years. Okay, now let's go back to the comments. Oh, here you go. Okay, I do not like the way that Kat approaches things. I get it. Eva literally helped her mother destroy the entire family. There was so many other ways Eva could have told Ted he was his daughter. Told Ted he was his daughter. Okay, yes, I agree. That's why I feel like Kat is giving obsessed because she won't go anywhere to get help with her feelings and her emotions behind the whole situation. Everybody else to her makes it look to her. I think she feels resentful that people didn't listen to her, but also that they're trying to make her feel crazy. Like, why are they moving on? But because my thought is, how is she more mad than Nicole? I do not get that. I don't get it. And I'm not necessarily saying that she needs to just let it go and just be friends with Eva. I do think there's a certain level of it she should let go. Will they be best friends? I mean, that's hard to tell, but I do feel like she could try. I love the way that Danny does not back off of Haley. Okay, I agree. I agree. She will make jokes right in her face, even down to this week. She said, so what did she say? I think I mentioned it in my video that she told Bill, "Oh, you made your choice." And as if on cue, she showed up and here she is, your choice. And she went off to go be with her young husband. Bill and moving on. Now, let's see here. Let's stay with Nicole. Nicole, now this one really wasn't a read, but it was more so like it's just something that was just out of character for her. When she's just usually so stoic and pulled together and everything, and Danny was trying to get her to let her emotions flow because we know that she was upset about the Ted thing. And so she was trying to get her to let it go, and they started playing, or they were throwing like the mugs to break them and stuff like that. And Nicole yelled out, "Stankaroonie." It was just so random. But it was while she was rage throwing the mugs. It was very random, but it was funny. And it was just nice to see Nicole get pulled out of her comfort zone of just always being the perfect one and pristine and on point and everything. She got a chance to like let her hair down and just let go. So let's see here. I am so glad that Haley is going after Bill. He deserves it. He did Danny so dirty. I mean, Angelica. Okay, so I mean, okay. I I don't like how he did Danny, but and maybe, one of my toxic traits is that in movies, TV, I really like the villain characters. I usually like the most toxic characters ever. And Bill really grew. I really, really like Bill. And I don't want her taking him out, even though I think he's getting his just desserts or his karma right now by seeing Danny be happy with somebody that is not him. And then also, and she ain't worried about him either. Well, I don't know. That's to be seen because sometimes I do think Danny be worried about Bill, but it appears to Bill that Danny ain't worried about him. So I love that part. Let him suffer, but I don't want him to suffer those kind of consequences with the toxic drink and things. But I hear you. I understand. Okay, Carolyn is gonna be the one to expose Haley, but Bill, good for him. I That's what I think too. I definitely think that's why I was thinking that if Bill does know, it's because Carolyn told him, and they're in cahoots to take Haley down. I just feel like there's something about the way that Bill is responding to Haley lately, to her demands, and how the lack of responding to her demands, the way he's doing it leads me to believe that he has something up his sleeve, even though we know she does. But I think he does too. I think he will surprise us all to show us that, child, he's still 10 steps ahead, no matter what kind of scamming school she went to. No matter how long she's been a scammer. Now, moving on to the next one. Did I put her in here? I think I did. Leslie. Now, Leslie had a couple of things that she said, but I only have the one here. And she said that if the Duprees make it, they will break it. Now, Leslie makes it very difficult to like her. It makes her, I thought she was funny when she came on the scene with all these personas and all this sort of thing, whatever. And I thought that and you can tell that part of the reason why she's doing all this is because she feels less than. She suffers from low self esteem and always feeling less than the Duprees. And her whole job is out here is to stick it to them. So but I thought that once she got the money, then maybe she back off a little bit, but she is absolutely insufferable at this point. Like, you really can't tell her nothing now that she has the money. And so now it's like, girl, like for instance, she's just nasty for no reason. Like, there was no reason for her to be nasty toward Samantha. But of course she was. She's just a miserable person. And she's annoying too because she won't leave Ted alone. Not that he makes it hard for her. You know what I'm saying? He gives her too much attention, in my opinion. Just doing too much. Okay. I don't want Bill to be unalived, and I want him to catch on to what Haley is doing, but he needs to feel some pain. Okay, I can agree with that. And he will feel like a fool when this comes out. I totally agree. I totally agree. But like you said, he he deserves it. He deserves a little bit. He don't deserve to get taken out, but if he have to be embarrassed like he embarrassed Danny and embarrassed her over and over again, then I'll allow it. That's how I feel about it too. Okay, now Randy, I'm not gonna go back to the picture, but Randy said to Doug, "I knew you long before Vanessa came swinging those community hips into your life." I'm gonna say Randy is like the male Mona. Like we don't see him that often, but when he shows up with a punchy one liner, and it's funny, and it's usually true as well. So R.I.P. to Doug McBride if he's really gone. And then the most one of the most famous, in my opinion, I thought this was hilarious. Dana Leslie, after moving across the street, brings over a peace offering to the Duprees. And Anita was like, "Well, what is it?" Dana Leslie says, "A fruitcake." And Verna says, "How apropos." That was hilarious. And if you saw my community post, I posted this the other day because the other day was National Fruitcake Day. So we had to bring up this scene about her being nuttier than a fruitcake because she is indeed. Lord have mercy. Okay, I actually dislike Haley a whole lot more than I dislike Bill. Me too. I do not like Haley at all. I've never liked Haley. Never liked Haley. She seemed like a scammer from the beginning. There was nothing about her that said okay, I'm not saying that there's nothing, but it's very hard to see that she has any redeemable qualities. I see none. I see none at all whatsoever. So, ciao. So moving on. Let me see how many few. I have a few more. Ooh, a few more. Okay. Now, speaking of Bill, we're moving on to Bill, who called Andre a gigolo. And then Andre responded with, "Okay, vintage vocab." Okay, because Bill really thought he was doing something. What he was doing was showing his age, calling somebody a gigolo. That is very 90s. That is very much showing your age. Hilarious. Now, the next one is about Danny. We're not going to go back to her picture, but when she was talking about Haley and said, "What does Mrs. Shamilton want?" Now, I like that read, but I had to do a remix on it and I did a video about it. I didn't call her Mrs. Shamilton. I called her Mrs. Scamilton because that's exactly what she is. She's a scammer. Her cousin Randy's a scammer, and now this friend Lynette coming in. Just a whole family and friends of scammer crowd. In with the I was about to say in with the in crowd. No, they're in with the scammer crowd for sure. For sure. Now, Randy came up again when he was talking to Joey. Now, first of all, him trying to convince Joey that Haley is his little side piece or whatever is giving ill because that's your cousin, but also, why you trying to fool Joey is beyond me. Is crazy. But anyway, he says to Joey, "Well, yeah, you know about those Fairmont Crest wives, don't you, Joey?" And we know that Joey does indeed know about those Fairmont Crest wives, aka Vanessa. Now I forgot to get a picture of Chelsea, but Chelsea said to Kat, "You said Eva was just like her mom, but you're the one acting like Leslie." Okay, speak to your cousin because again, you're giving obsessed about Eva. I try not to get into the uh Team Cat versus Team Eva thing, whatever, because in that group on Facebook, oh my gosh, the people get very, very serious in that group about this show. And I love it, but sometimes they do too much. And yeah, I feel like Kat is giving again obsessed. Every single time she has a conversation with somebody, she brings up Eva in some way. Hey Inga, happy holidays. You team Eva? Okay. I'm team. I'm not neither one of their team. I'm neither one of their teams because I'll be getting so mad at Eva sometimes. Like, girl, get yourself together, But here we go. Okay, who sleeps with their best friend's father? But we learned that that was all a scam. Getting close. Yes, it was exactly what Danny said. But nobody wanted to believe her. They just wanted to look at her as the jealous wife and she's bitter and blah, blah, blah. No, she was right. She was right all along. All along. Okay. So, Inga, the reason why we're here tonight is because, this was just impromptu. We are going over some of the craziest reads that we have heard on Beyond the Gates because some of these people are saying some really crazy things. Uh-oh. So hold on, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, my cat was coughing. I was like, oh my gosh, go drink your water. Whew. Okay. So, uh-oh. Cat gets on your last nerves. You said it, not me. You said it, not me. I love that Mrs. Shamilton. It was Mrs. Shamilton. And of course, again, it comes from the quick-witted Danny. Again, she always got a quick one for you. And Haley can go on the track. Child. Her and Randy. And we on the fence about this Lynette character because I don't know. She acting like she's not a scammer anymore, but I don't know. They go back too far to just be stopping their scams. We'll see though. We'll see how it goes. So the next one is, let's see here. Okay, again, so this one's not a read, but it was just something I needed to bring up because it was kind of a gripe. That time though that Derek started getting hot and heavy with Cheryl right there in Ashley's apartment. So maybe that was not a read, but it was disrespectful. And probably one of Derek's like hottest moments because again, character super boring. Like Derek seems like a really nice guy. And I don't think that Ashley should have been, throwing him around the way that she was doing with his feelings and things like that. She never should have accepted that proposal. But Derek, baby, you was wrong for that. All up in Ashley's apartment, doing the absolute most. Whew. Now, like what you say, do you think that Joey would go to Bill if he finds out what Randy and Haley are up to? And I agree with Inga. Yes, I do. In fact, like I was saying, if Bill knows already, I think it's because of Joey. Because Joey don't believe Randy. And I have a comment on here about what Joey said as well. I might as well skip to it right now. Where is it? When Joey says to Randy, if your lying becomes a problem for me, you won't like the way it gets solved. I know that's right, child. And he had already gave Randy more than one chance. Remember, he stole that man's money and he let him come back into the fold. But Randy thinking Randy and Haley thinking that Joey actually turns off the cameras in his place of business, they are just so dumb. Why would they ever think that? I'm sick of Derek and Ashley. They are so boring. Get them off the. No, no, no. We can't have drama for every single character. We have to have some of those characters that give us less drama. We need a little boring. It's okay. Ain't gonna try to kick folks off the show. No, don't kick them off. Don't kick them. Ashley didn't grow on me now. Like, okay, I can deal with Ashley. I mean, you know, she was looking cute in her little her New Year's Eve night outfit, her little blue dress. That was cute. So I'm like, okay. But I do not want to see her with Andre. Not ever. So they can move on from that. Maybe they need to bring somebody else in for her. Now, the next one is, let's see here. Oh, Kat to Haley. How does a family stealing home wrecker's mind work? Kat is a mess and is rude as all get out. And she really expected her to answer that question. But the funny thing about it, Haley did answer the question. Because a scammer is always going to be a scammer. That's why. That is exactly why. Haley went to answering it. I said, girl, what is happening? Told her she wanted to, because Kat wanted to figure out how she could keep her man, aka Tomas. And you know who she's trying to keep him from? Her sister, half or not, Eva. Everything that Kat says and does it's about Eva. And that is sad. And I hate that for her. I really do. Now, the next one is, oh, that was me showing Eva. The next one is Shanice, who says to Leslie, they were talking about this doctor, was it Dr. Wilkes? I think Dr. Wilkes, who's going to be Peaches' doctor. And, Leslie had an issue with the doctor. And so Shanice had to tell her, he is more qualified than all of those wigs and personas that you have. Now, I'm going to go do my job regardless of who her play daughter is. And I said, I know that's right, Shanice, get her together. Now, I do foresee a showdown with Shanice because if you saw today's episode, the level has been taken to the next. And Leslie has already started to see Shanice and Ted hanging out. So, she don't like that. So it looks like it's going to be a showdown of some sort. Okay, this is not a read, but what about when Danny slapped the mess out of Haley at the beginning of the set? Oh my gosh. I should have mentioned that. Rule number 1. Oh my gosh. But that's when we saw immediately exactly who Danny is and who she is not. She is not the one nor the two to be fooling with. So, bam, you absolutely right. Thank you for that one. Bring in a new character for Ashley because her and Andre is a no for me. Same. I never liked it. And I'm like, they don't even look like they have chemistry either, but whatever. Tomas is boring too, but I guess he's growing on me. I do not like Tomas. I have never liked Tomas. I don't think I'm ever going to like Tomas. I actually liked him. Okay. I actually had a little bit of when he was actually pursuing Eva. Personally, I think he and Eva are a better fit than him and Kat. But that's just me. But it's over now. If I was Eva, I would never deal with Tomas ever again. Go on to be with your little fine Isaiah because he's more her speed. But when they were bonding, her and Tomas were bonding over those books and everything. I was like, oh, okay, this is cute. They have a similar background in terms of like, not growing up with money and all that sort of thing. So I was thinking like, oh, okay, maybe they could be something. But now, never mind. Never mind. I like Shanice too, Inga, but what do you think? Do you think I think personally, I mean, people can say whatever they want, but I think Shanice is shady too. Like her getting with Ted is shady boots to me. I'm sorry. You in Nicole's face every day. You hooking her up so you can get with Ted, and then you're not telling Ted that you hooked Nicole up with somebody else. I, it's a little shady to me. That's all I'm saying. And plus, I don't want her to be the rebound girl either. You know? But that's to me a shady behavior. That's just me. Let's see. Yes, the Lynette is up to something, and Haley is a low life. That may she may try to unalive her child. Well, you know what? The thing is, they know the game. They each know each other too. They used to roll together, and I think she made a comment about Haley saying that Haley has always been more about the coin than she was about the crew. So I think that Lynette will know to tread lightly when it comes to Haley because I don't think they trust each other. And they shouldn't because they're scammers. Now, one good one good line Haley had was when she told Randy that Bill got more money than brains. Oh, shade. Shade. And it's untrue. That ain't even true. I think she don't think he got any brains, but child, I can't wait to see how this is going to unfold. And are they really going to go to St. Bart's? That's going to be interesting to see as well. What about Tomas and Ashley together? No, I don't know, Inga. I don't think so. I don't like Tomas. Tomas is he's a social climber. And I think he likes Cat, but I don't think he really truly is really into Cat like that. He is more about his career than he is about this relationship. And he's pushing very, very hard for, Kat to move in and everything because Bill has told him that he expects for his partners to be family men. So no, I don't think that they would be a good fit at all whatsoever. I don't even think Ashley would, look Tomas's way. And I don't think he'll look her way either, to be honest. So I don't know. Okay, so the next one was okay. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, back to Mona when she says to Leslie, "You may have money, but you still a low rent man stealer to me." Okay, I know that's right. Now back to Eva when Kat said, "Child, my man's anatomy is not your business," and Eva said, "Not anymore." Burn, okay. Burn. Now, again, I am not Team Cat or Team Eva, but I love seeing when Eva fights back because she doesn't always, in my opinion. I think at the very beginning, maybe she did, but now she more like, I'm not even about to dignify nothing with the answer when it comes to Cat, but Cat deserved that one, because the fact that you sitting here forgiving Tomas for literally sleeping with someone else, but you can't forgive your sister for sleeping with you. To me, the lines were blurred. Was he actually her man at the time or not? And let us not act like Tomas wasn't at some point pursuing Eva as well. So that's why I don't care for Tomas. I never wanted her to sleep with him. That was just stupid, dumb move, and she got her face cracked. And that was her own fault. Now, I did have one for Anita. I forgot to get a picture of hers though, but she had a when Leslie gave her back those invites, she said, "Oh, the calligraphy is adequate." She wasn't gonna give Leslie not one. She wasn't gonna give her no kind of credit about anything. Just do your thing. Okay, the next one is Smitty. Again, I don't have a picture for Smitty, but When he was referring to that check that Joey wrote for Martin's campaign, it said Joseph R. Armstrong on it. And he said the R is for reprehensible. Child. Then Madison, same thing. I don't have a picture, but when she was talking to Chelsea, her and Chelsea were fighting. She said, "You said Bill is arrogant, but you're cut from the same cloth." Now that hurt Chelsea's feelings, child. But guess what? It was true. I did not like how the thing went down between the two of them. Chelsea having the mom going up to the mama and all this other kind of stuff. She was out of pocket doing that. So she deserved to get that read. Now Shanice is good for Leslie because she's not going to back up from her, and Leslie needs to be told off every time. Okay, I agree. Abso-freaking-lutely. Okay, and if they got rid of Tomas, I would not be upset. I don't think they will though, because he works at Bill's firm and we've got to see him. I feel like he would be more interesting if we saw him somehow plotting on Bill, to maybe take over his firm or something like that. Right now, he's really much up Bill's behind. But if we saw him do something sinister to get him to, get maybe knock Bill off his game, then I might be like, okay, let's look at Tomas, because this is a soap opera. So at any given time, the characters can be up or they can be down. So I'm waiting on villain era for Tomas. Come on with it. Okay. And then he said, I do not like Tomas. And even if he was going to hook up with Eva, that was not the way. I agree. Once he slept with her, I lost the respect for both of them. Tomas cannot come back from that in my eyes. Right. So for me, that's what I don't understand about Kat. Like, now you all lovey-dovey with this man. You don't really like him. She don't really like Tomas like that. She just doesn't want Eva to have him. And I hate that for Kat, because girl, move on. I hate that she gave up her V card for him. And then on top of that, she could have had a V8 because behind it. Now, how'd you go from, his love game wasn't up to par until after he slept with your sister? That would be too much for me. I could not deal with that at all. I agree, Angelica. Tomas acting still, girl. Inga, we're not advocating for folks losing their jobs up in here. Oh my gosh, sleeping with both sisters. Yes, unacceptable. But Kat is accepting it. At least Eva went on about her business. Like, okay, no, I'm not fooling with you no more. Now, Leslie says to Jacob about Eva, because Eva is now hanging out with Jacob's brother. And Leslie says, oh, your favorite outlaw may be your in-law, or may become your in-law, child. Ooh, that would be interesting. That would be interesting. And then I have two more. So Danny recently says to Vanessa, okay, so this is a Christmas, I think it was. So they were sitting down and finding out what happened on each other's Christmases, their plans and everything. So Danny says to Vanessa, what did you get for the man that has everything but can't tell you how he got it? Okay. Ooh-wee, that was shady. But, Vanessa, she took it all in stride, answered the question, kept it moving. But that was very shady. Okay, what about when Bill picked up Leslie and threw her out of the Dupree's house? I was I agree. Me too. And it was deserved. Absolutely deserved. And I mean, she is such a pest. Oh my gosh, Leslie is the worst. She is the worst kind of person. She's an absolute pest. You can't get rid of her. And now she got this money. You can't tell her nothing. She is beyond annoying and she just will not stop. They can't get away from her if they try, and that's just terrible, terrible for them. Okay, I don't think Kat really wants somebody she just doesn't want. Exactly. That's exactly how I feel about it as well. She don't like him like that. She be rolling her eyes when she see he texting, not answering him, ignoring him. She does not like him. She just does not want Eva to have him, and that's a mess. Vanessa is a harassment. I like Vanessa though. I wasn't sure what to make of her character at the very beginning, but I'm like, okay, I like Vanessa. She's kind of crazy. Oh, yes, it was. She kind of crazy. How much money does Leslie have? Now, I don't know because, well, her first installment, I think, was like $1 million. But I don't, and since Anita stopped funding it, and my assumption is that it's a foundation. So I'm sure it's, was growing, it has interest and all this other kind of stuff. But I, I don't know why we're acting like it's like an endless well. I don't know. I don't know how much she made or has. And she hasn't worked a day since she got it. So who knows? Since you're right, Inga, Kat is not really into Tomas. She just doesn't want even have exactly. Totally agree, y'all. And so, okay, so for the very last read, this was also very random. So Vanessa was at the country club drunk out of her mind because Joey wouldn't come and be her date. And Anastasia, the town gossip, came up in that mug and said, "Your day drinking alone is the very last husband of you." First of all, girl, what? That was crazy to say, rude, and to be honest, very insensitive considering that she just lost her husband, not he was her last husband. It's like, what? Oh my gosh, he's her late husband. And then she kept going and said, "You used to be able to hold courts, but now you can't even hold a man's attention." Whew. I was like, ooh, we. Messy. You right, Inga. Messy, 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 messy. Just coming on the scene being messy. Now, I guess CBS is not listening to me because I certainly asked them to let Karen Huger take over this role as the town gossip. I really thought, I really believe that that's what her role was initially planned to be, but then she went to the jailhouse. So, child, she lost her position because she was in that very first episode. But Anastasia is rude and nasty, but she is also funny. And girl, no, she didn't have to say that though. She didn't have to say that. I don't know. I think the check itself said 1 million on it. If I'm not mistaken, it was just our first installment. So I don't know. And I think you can let me not be talking. I don't know. I'm about to say I think you can take it out tax free, but I don't know. So let me take that back. I have no idea. But yes, Anastasia is very messy. And Vanessa did Doug dirty. What okay, she did, but I also feel like he knew what was up though. Like he should have left. Maybe they might both be in a better place right now. But he should not have stayed in that crazy sham of a marriage. It was a hot mess, and now he's supposed to be gone. I don't know. Something about it seems weird. I'm like, did we ever see him? Is he really gone? Do we know? I don't know. I kind of like Doug, but I don't feel like I knew enough about him to really say, oh, okay, I love him a lot or really like him. We just didn't know him that much about him. We knew he made stupid mistakes at that table getting involved with Joey, but besides that, it's like he didn't really have a chance otherwise. I think he was they were saying he was a really good surgeon and all that sort of thing, but I don't know. But anyway, that was my last one. Again, I have been keeping this list ever since it started because I started noticing that I'm like, oh my gosh, they're having some really good reads on here, some things that are really, really super funny. And it breaks up the monotony of all the drama, but it also adds a little humor to the drama. Also adds an element of like modern day stuff because it's very socially social media forward and all that sort of thing. But anyway, I appreciate y'all joining me this evening to talk about this show that we love so much. Um, Continue to make sure you check out my shorts for it. I try to not try, I do. I recap each episode in 3 minutes or less. It is a doozy sometimes, but it's really fun. And yes, I am a little bit behind, but I'm catching up. My goal is to get caught up before by the end of the week so that by the time we start next week, we'll be on the same um episode because I'm trying to do two a day at this point to try to catch up. But we are approaching episode 200, which I believe happened today. It was their New Year's Eve celebration. Special guest Kenny Lattimore, and then I believe come Monday, we will be starting season 2. So, congratulations to Beyond the Gates. Congratulations to all of the actors and actresses that they brought on. They're doing a phenomenal job because we are out here discussing it in a real way and having a good time in doing so. And I appreciate that. I think we all appreciate that. And again, I appreciate y'all joining me this evening. Let me get the rest of these comments in. Can you believe that Vanessa Sun Danielle is okay with her being with Joey? Does that make sense? I don't know if he knows much about Joey in order for him to make an assumption, but what he does know is that his mama seems to be happy. What I don't understand is why Vanessa would think that it would be okay to just be all out in the open with this known criminal. It makes no sense at all for her to be and for her to have a legitimate business and she's interweaving herself with his dirty money. Crazy, just doing the absolute most. And I feel like she's putting herself on display. You just asking to be, you know, found out. Hey, love your recast. Thank you, Inga. Thank you so much. I try my best. I have a good time with them for sure. Right. I would like to see Anastasia spread some rumors about Leslie. Okay. And have her thrown out of Fairmont Crest. I don't know. They tried. Well, I don't know. They didn't try the gossip thing, but they did try to keep her out of Fairmont Crest, and none of that worked. Not she went and bought. What did she do? She donated a wing to the country club or something. So now she has basically a membership for life, which is crazy. But yeah. Vanessa's gonna get busted. She's gonna. I agree. I don't understand, girl. What are you doing? I get it. You want to step into the bad side, but Joey's been doing this way too long. This is the other thing too. Is like Joey may like you, hell, he may even love you, but baby, he not going down for you. So if you're going down, you're going down alone because she is not. He is not gonna go with her. He don't never go down. And he's told her that. So I don't even know what she's doing. I thought and maybe at one point she was playing him, but I don't even know now. So yeah, so where is all this money coming from? Because Anita said that she stopped putting money into the fund and she's running around building clinics and building a shop. I know, but I think that, it's I think it's a foundation, so it accrues like it I think it um not a cruise, but what is the word? It's you know, it's building like a like a stock, so that it continues just like if people would pull out from their retirement, it continues to grow and that sort of thing. I think it's like that. So, but they're acting like it's never ending. That's interesting because I'm like, what all are you buying? But now, I haven't done this recap yet, but now she is what? She didn't went to Joey asking to help with the clinic. Girl, what? Why? Why would these people want to get involved with him? They don't know no better, I don't think. I know that's why I keep saying how much money does she have? Does she have like, so I don't know. She doesn't care how she spends it either. She just keeps on spending. And she's staying, and she's still staying in the I think she's still staying in the hotel right now while the house is being built or finished or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, and of course she's paying for the apartment, I'm assuming, that Eva has, unless Ted is paying for that. So I don't know. But even Ted, I'm looking at him like, why are you still in that hotel, sir? You have money. You can get you a small home or a condo of some sort. Why would you continue to stay at the hotel? I think, is he still hoping that Nicole is going to come back to him? Child, child. Anyway, I don't know. Any last thoughts before we go? It's been an hour. I appreciate y'all spending time with me on this impromptu evening just to have some fun to talk about this thing. Because Beyond the Gates is, oh my gosh, it's such a good show. I remember when I saw the announcement for it, and I was like, oh my gosh. I remember doing a video saying that how I felt about it being this age. This is my mom's age when she was listening to the stories back in the day. She used to, on her lunch break, um she would listen to it. So she didn't watch it, but it used to be like a radio station where you could tune into the soap opera. So she would literally listen to the stories on her radio while she was at work. But I feel like, I'm like, when I found out about this and I was like, oh, I think I want to start watching this. I felt so so grown up. Like, oh my gosh, we're stepping into an era where we're getting back into soap operas. And I grew up on The Young and the Restless and The Bold and the Beautiful and all that sort of thing, and the other ones too, Passions, Generations, Knots Landing, Dallas, all of those. And this one, I'm just really, truly excited about it. I'm excited about Beyond the Gates as I am for Family Business. So, you know what that means. You know what that means. Yes, I was about to say that. Why is Ted still in the hotel? I agree. Makes no sense. I was raised on The Young and the Restless. Yep, me too. I don't watch it anymore. Me either, but I still kind of know some of the characters. But I watch this new soap religiously. Me too. Me too. And I love that they're doing these crossovers as well. Like Devon has come over. And isn't Devon's last name Hamilton? I wonder if he's related to um Bill. And then they brought over Ridge Forrester, and then they just made a reference to um uh what's his name? Oh my gosh. His name escapes me. The attorney, but Lauren Finmore is his wife. They made a reference, Bill made a reference to them the other day. And I was just like, I just love the crossovers. I absolutely do. Or Dallas and my girl, me too. Me too. A lot of those shows though that we're talking about now, they were evening soap operas. So I was able to watch them more often than the other ones. Like I would only be able to watch The Young and the Restless or The Bold and the Beautiful when we were on break of some sort, or if I was homesick. And my mom watched it, my grandmother watched it, my aunt watched it. So yeah. That's another reason why I don't like Bill, because he told Joey that Doug was coming after him, and that makes him just as guilty for Doug being a child. I mean, you're right. Michael Baldwin. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Michael Baldwin. Yes. You're right. Ooh, child. Well, and that also makes the case that if, one hand washes the other. So if Bill told Joey something, then I'm sure that Joey will tell Bill something. So no honor amongst thieves, no loyalty either. So who we? All right. Well, thank you again for joining me this evening. This was just a fun wrap up thing to do for the end of the year. Happy New Year to everybody. Happy holidays. I wish you all the best in 2026. Thank you so much for joining me here. Thanks for being a support to my channel. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you're watching my shorts. Again, I'm recapping Beyond the Gates in 3 minutes or less. Um, I'll be working on a couple of other things for the show. I mean, for the channel. But also, if you are interested in decluttering, we're on day 30, but I think I'm going to run it back, kind of do a rewind for January, since December also has the same amount of days as January. But I did a decluttering challenge over on my other channel. It's called Frugalicious Diva. So if you're interested in decluttering, make sure you join that channel, or you can join me on Instagram or Facebook. It's Frugalicious Diva. I should probably put it in the chat. But yeah, if you're interested in that, feel free to join over there. My Frugalicious Diva channel is very a very young channel, has less than 50. I think I have 26 subscribers over there. So if you're interested, feel free to subscribe over there as well. And also, let me just say this as well. I just got the notification earlier today that I have more than my 3,000 watch hours. Woo, 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 woo. So, in order for me to get to that halfway mark of the or that first tier of monetization, I just need to get my 500 subscribers, and I'm at 355 right now. So, yeah, I would love for you to, share it, let people know about it. And I'm going to put it in the chat right now for you, Inga. There it is. Again, it's Frugalicious Diva. Let me see. Here you go. I know the old characters from Young and the Restless. I don't know any of the new people on there now. Yeah, these are the kids now. So they're interesting. I catch it every now and then, but I don't know what the storylines are. Thank you. Thank you so much, Inga. I appreciate you, and I know you love the show too. So I love when you do come across it, because we get to chatting about it. Definitely. And also, I want to do more collabs come 2026 as well. I know you, me, and Monique for sure watch Beyond the Gate, so I would love for us to get together every now and then and just come on live and get to chatting, because we love it. So this is the other channel here. Again, it's Frugalicious Diva. If you're interested in decluttering or any savings tips and that sort of thing, feel free to join me there. And with that being said, thank you again for joining me this evening. I appreciate you all. And the comments keep coming. Okay, let's see. Let me know when you wanted to come. Okay, will do. Will do. And I'll hit up Monique too, so we can come up here and chat about it. Okay, y'all, happy new year and have a wonderful evening. I was about to say see you next year, but I'll be dropping another video or two before this. So have a good night and thank you. Holla.